Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your sources, unpack them, and pull out the really fascinating stuff. Today we're jumping into, well, the kind of wild early days of online streaming. We're focusing on Twitch, specifically back in 2017, looking at some of the, let's call them memorable bans. Yeah, so our mission here is to get a feel for content moderation back then. What actually got a streamer banned, what didn't, and maybe, just maybe, figure out how those early decisions, or lack thereof, still kind of ripple through today.
That's exactly it. And before we get into the specific cases, it's probably good to understand a bit about how Twitch bans even worked in 2017. Because what's really interesting is this term permanent ban. It was used, let's say, very loosely. I mean, many streamers who got one could actually get it lifted maybe 2 years later just by asking. So not quite permanent in the usual sense.
Right, like a permanent maybe?
Sort of, yeah. They generally had this staging system. First a 24-hour ban, then maybe 7 days and 30 days, sometimes, rarely, a 6-month one. But usually it just escalated to that quote-unquote permanent ban. That context is pretty important for what we're about to discuss.
Okay, got it. So let's dive in. We're starting early 2017, January. This involves a Lithuanian streamer called X-Pegasus. And this one is, well, it's something. Apparently he finished his stream like normal, signed off, all that. But he forgot the crucial step, actually turning the stream off.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, which then led to some, let's say, not safe for work stuff happening with his partner live on stream. The result looked like a permaban. Channel gone, content wiped.
But, and this is where it gets weird, if you check his Social Blade stats from back then, his numbers, views, followers, they kept ticking upwards, even after this supposedly permanent ban.
So not so permanent then.
Exactly. It really makes you wonder about enforcement back then. Was it just a public slap on the wrist sometimes, or were there ways back even then? It hints at the complexity,
Okay, moving into February, Pooflower.
Yeah.
Now, her content was different. She wasn't doing the typical flexing sexuality thing. Instead, she often dressed up like as a demon, did cosplay, just generally weird stuff, performance art almost. And she did this a lot, these demonic streams, often with red and black marker on her face, that kind of thing. The ban happened when she apparently took it a little bit too far, grabbed a knife, started acting kind of crazy with it on stream.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like crossing a line.
You'd think so. She got a 30-day ban for that.
Just 30 days.
Yep. And she actually went back to the demonic streams afterwards, though maybe toned it down a bit later in 2017. But it definitely highlights that challenge. Where's the line between edgy performance and something genuinely unsafe or against the rules?
Right.
Especially with something so unconventional.
It's a tough call for any platform.
Definitely. Okay, next up, Jinxalita TV2. Another permanent ban here, but the reason is actually debated online, like on Reddit. The alleged reasons are equally strange. Either he was sniffing something people thought were ammonia salts, like smelling salts on stream, or, get this, he decided to set his hair on fire.
Set his hair on fire? Why?
Apparently after hitting a milestone, like 50 average viewers.
Wow. Okay. Either way, sniffing salts or setting hair on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see a permaban coming from that.
Right. It just shows how unpredictable things could get. These extreme actions really forced Twitch to draw lines, often very quickly and severely.
He was the Wild West, like you said.
Absolutely. Okay, let's shift to Mary J. Lee. She started getting popular around June 2017. Doing IRL streams in real life, big category, obviously. Yeah. Her ban is interesting because it shows a real paradox.
Oh, so?
She got a 24-hour ban for sexual content. What happened was she went into her closet during a stream to change her clothes. She closed the door, like most of the way, but not completely.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. People point out she was actually showing less skin in that closet incident than in a clip that went viral earlier where she was just wearing a normal bathing suit outside, which never got her banned.
Ah, right. So the difference wasn't the amount of skin.
Nope. It was purely the context. Public space, bathing suit, okay? Private space, changing clothes, even if less revealing, ban.
That really makes you think about how they were judging intent, right? The perceived setting, the action itself, mattered more than just the visual. Was it the implication of privacy being breached even by her own stream?
Could be. That's fuzzy. Then there's Glink Live. Huge YouTuber, you probably know him. He was at a bar filming near a mechanical bull.
Okay, standard IRL stuff.
Well, he filmed a girl on the bull who was wearing a very see-through top. But the really interesting part, Glink himself, while filming, kept saying things like, "I'm getting a ban for this."
Multiple times.
He called it out himself.
Yeah, he knew. He said it, then turned the camera back to her anyway. he basically seemed to invite the ban.
So he was aware, maybe even courting the controversy. That's a different angle entirely, like leaning into the rule breaking. The source said it was well-deserved, even by his own admission, right? Exactly. Now, Simpson Bear. She got 2 bans in 2017. The first was 24 hours for sexual content. Involved grabbing her boobs and just doing stupid things, according to the source. Pretty straightforward, maybe.
Okay, first strike, 24 hours. Makes sense with the staging system.
Right. But then her second ban was for an accidental nip slip. Well, more accurately, an areola slip while adjusting her top.
And that got her
A 3-day ban.
3 days. That's hot.
Yeah, really strange. Because based on that staging system you mentioned and her prior ban, you'd expect maybe another 24 hours or maybe 7 days if they were escalating. 3 days isn't really on the standard list.
That definitely suggests the staging system wasn't always followed rigidly. Maybe it depended on the moderator or the specifics.
Yeah.
It shows inconsistency or at least discretion being used pretty liberally.
For sure. Okay, moving to September. The H3H3 and Joey Salads incident. Joey Salads, famous for those fake prank videos on YouTube, had his own Twitch podcast, The Salad Bar.
Right, I remember him.
So this specific thing happened on H3H3's channel. Joey Salads was a guest, and he got sprayed with pepper spray during the stream.
Ouch. On stream.
On stream. Now, here's the really weird part. Joey Salads' own Twitch channel permanently banned. He stopped doing his podcast after that.
Okay. But it happened on H3H3's channel.
Exactly. And H3H3's channel. Nothing. No penalty whatsoever.
Wow. So the person who got sprayed, their channel gets banned, but the channel where it actually happened is fine. That seems backwards.
It really highlights a potential flaw, right? Like accountability wasn't tied to where the content happened, but maybe who was perceived as the problematic figure. Or maybe it was just easier to ban the guest. Created a huge disparity, definitely raised questions about fairness.
Yeah, that's a tough one to explain logically. Very strange.
Then we have Blasting Cap. His story is all about view botting, using fake accounts, bots, to inflate viewer numbers.
Always a controversial topic on Twitch.
Totally. And the problem for Twitch, especially back then, was proving it unless the streamer basically admitted it or showed it themselves.
And Blasting Cap.
He did exactly that. Show the view botting software running live on stream led to a permanent ban, unsurprisingly.
He just showed it. Why?
Well, just before he did, he was kind of bragging. He claimed his viewer count was rising because people thought he was view botting after it got mentioned on Reddit. He literally said something like, stir up drama and shh, because it works. Like controversy equals views. He called it the school of cute dog stir up drama equals views. Then he accidentally, or maybe not so accidentally, showed the bot software itself later.
Huh. That's fascinating. So he was almost playing 4D chess with the drama, using the accusation of view botting to get views, then proving it?
Seems like it. It really shows someone knowingly gaming the system, even revealing the exploit. It points out the loophole in Twitch's detection and this calculated, maybe cynical approach to getting attention. The drama about the bots was part of the content.
Metadrama indeed. Okay, what else from 2017?
Pink Sparkles. She'd been banned before, but not permanently. This time she got a 7-day ban for, again, what was technically more of an areola slip than a full nip slip.
Okay, 7 days. That seems more in line with escalation after a previous ban, maybe.
Maybe. But the real controversy wasn't the ban length. It was the delay. It took almost a whole week for Twitch to actually issue the ban after the incident happened.
A week? That's a long time in internet time.
Exactly.
Right.
And the community noticed. People were apparently shouting out, this is unfair. Anyone else would have been banned instantly for less.
Ah, so the delay caused backlash. It looked like preferential treatment.
Precisely. And it really shows how much community pressure could influence Twitch. When things felt inconsistent, especially if it seemed a popular streamer was getting a pass, the outcry could basically force Twitch's hand. It wasn't just about the rules, but the perception of fairness.
The court of public opinion, Twitch edition.
Pretty much. Okay, our final case. Forksree. A smaller streamer at the time who had recently kind of blew up, gained some traction. She got banned. But then the ban was lifted just a few days later. Why? Community backlash again.
Okay, what was the original ban for?
It came from comments she made about other streamers, specifically in the IRL category, the girl section on Twitch, as she put it. She was criticizing streamers who, in her view, wore very minimal clothing to get views and donations. She called it hella embarrassing and kind of feels F-degrading. Pretty strong words.
So critical commentary on platform culture.
Yeah, and she actually confronted another streamer, Amaranth, directly in Amaranth's chat. Forks3 typed something like, "It's streamers like you that make me feel embarrassed to stream on this site."
Wow, direct call out. How did Amaranth react?
Amaranth apparently responded, "Sneaky Bee tried to steal my viewers," laughed it off, and banned Forks3 from her chat. Forks3 shared this whole exchange, and shortly after, her own channel got banned by Twitch.
So ban for criticizing another streamer and the platform culture, that seems problematic.
It definitely felt that way to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But the community rallied behind Forks3 so strongly that Twitch reversed the ban within days.
That's a powerful demonstration then. It shows speaking out, even critically, could get you banned. But it also shows that enough community support, enough throwback, as the source called it, could actually overturn Twitch's decision pretty quickly. It really encapsulates that tension between platform control and community power.
What a ride through 2017 Twitch bans. Seriously, from accidental flashing and weird demon cosplays with knives to people setting their hair on fire, calling out their own bans, and these huge community-driven reversals. It paints such a vivid picture. A platform really finding its feet, grappling with content creators and its own rules.
It really does. And what stands out, I think, is just how fluid everything seemed. The rules, the enforcement, it bent based on context, who was involved, how much noise the community made, even if the streamers seemed to know they were breaking a rule.
Yeah, it definitely messes with the idea of some objective, clear-cut moderation system. There was so much human judgment or maybe inconsistency involved, both from Twitch's side and how the users reacted.
Exactly. You saw permanent bans that weren't, context mattering more than the actual visuals sometimes, and communities acting almost like a check and balance on Twitch itself. Makes you wonder how many of those dynamics are still playing out under the surface today, even if the rules are more codified now.
Absolutely. So it really leaves you thinking, doesn't it?
It does, and maybe the question for you listening is this. Looking back at these 2017 stories, this constant push and pull between expression, entertainment, pushing boundaries, and what the platform tries to enforce, who do you think really holds the power to draw that line today? Is it the platform with its terms of service? Is it the creators constantly testing the limits? Or is it the community deciding what's acceptable and what's not? Something to chew on.